Swear.
Bonjour John.
Bonjour mon ami.
So speak.
Ça va?
Très bien. Et toi?
Ah.
Very good. Perfect.
Yeah, I watched this fight in Cage Warriors the other night. That double jab overhand and then following up with the knee, it was magnifique. It was beautiful, beautiful. I'm very, very fond of Morgan. He's a great fighter, great mindset, technician. I look forward to watching his progress. I don't do any training per se, but I do tell them, there's no point in being the greatest warrior in the world that nobody ever heard of. So you have to be, this is the era we're in, look around, you have to be able to do interviews, you have to be able to speak. If not, I would encourage them to stay at amateur. You know, the IMAF championships are fantastic. They're a great avenue for people with a competitiveness, but they just don't like doing social media because you're not going to make it in the MMA world without social media. Oh, no. You're too kind. You're too kind.
So how do you explain that?
Oh, I don't believe I am.
People are following you. You have your books, of course.
Yeah. Well, look, let's not pretend it's anything else other than my association with Conor McGregor.
Okay. Really?
That's what has made me well known. That's why you want to speak to me today. Oh, that's a big question. I think what I want to try and do is find out their motivation. And if I know their true motivation, then I feel I can help them. Because at Mac 1 stage or Morgan stage, he comes to my gym. What am I teaching him? How to throw a jab? He knows this. They understand the physical techniques. I will help as much as I can. But I try to give them a little bit of guidance on their career. You know, I've obviously been around this game for a while. I understand how it works to move your way up ladders and so. So yeah, my approach is to try to be help them as much as I can with beyond just how to punch and kick. Both are very rewarding. If I'm being honest, I prefer if I get somebody right from the beginning. You know, Conor started with me day one. He had boxed before, but nothing else. And I have a bunch of guys like Lee Hammond is a bit of a star in our gym. He's IMF world champion, and he walked into my gym as a skinny little teenager, and I went on to become a fantastic fighter. So it's always very rewarding to get somebody at the beginning.
Let's say superstar.
Yeah, it's not easy, but your job is not easy. You have to travel here from France, and we all have to put in hours if you want more, you do more. So I have a big fight team, and I try to be as available to them as much as I can, and I'm comfortable with not having so much free time because what I get back, the rewards I get back is so great. What's the most difficult part? You know, fighters one fighter's a little bit different from the next. You know, you're going to have issues with different guys, but I guess to try and keep the training as realistic as possible, but to minimize the chance of injury, because it's sometimes tempting to train very hard all the time. You get people improve so quickly, but maybe they hurt themselves and they'll get a cut or something. So it's trying to find a balance between training realistically but not being hurt.
You can name a couple.
Well, as I'm speaking to you, let me say I have a French kid, ACL. I don't know if you know him, and he will be making. I'm trying to see. Am I allowed to say this? I can't really say what I was about to say. He hasn't signed a contract yet. But Asael, fantastic fighter, and he's turning pro next year. I'll tell you that much. And I have very, very high hopes for him. Very, very high hopes for him. Oh, it's huge.
Just like it's another country.
No, it's huge. France is, you know, to be. I imagine to be in Paris, the city of light, with a big MMA promotion. If it's UFC or Bellator, I think it's very important historically that we have MMA in France. It's been the center of so many artistic revolutions and so on. So I think it's very important to have MMA in France. Oh yeah, I was on. I had a German girl, fighting on the same card as him in Canada when his final fight before the UFC.
Okay, the TKO, yeah.
Yeah, TKO.
Okay.
And I watched him warming up and I went, oh my God, who is this guy? You know, because when you see an athletic heavyweight, you immediately pay attention. Because usually they're whipped up by other sports, like whether it's rugby or American football or something. And like I'm sure he could have got a massive contract going to one of those sports. So to go to MMA, you just look at those guys and you know right away, like this is something special. And you know, to be with the MMA factory, you know he's going to get the good technical training too. You put those together. He's 2-0 in the UFC now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he looked great in his last fight. He's a scary man. Okay, I understand. I hear you. Yeah, but I think in general, regardless of the skill set, for a heavyweight to be able to bounce like that for 15 minutes, ooh, that he has all the potential in the world. You know, is always been his toughest opponent is himself, and that's who he's fighting right now, I believe. And I hope we get that January 18th date. It's 11 weeks on Saturday. Who's across the other side of the cage, to me, is a lot less important than that Conor is in the cage. It's been a while, and for Conor to be in there, to be in good physical shape, to be in good mental shape, the other side is not too important. No, not really. You know, we have team training, and Conor's part of the team. He's on the mat. There's no special treatment. You know, he's one of the team. Like I said, I pretty much have my life devoted to my fight team right now, and the day is long. If you are efficient with how you keep time, you can make it work.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, John.
Merci.
Soit.